Hello, everyone. It's a very, very strange sort of graduation year. I think our dean pointed out a few weeks ago in a meeting that we were having over Zoom that those undergraduates, started when we elected a new president and are going out, under COVID-19. So, many of us might have viewed this as an interesting period of time. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is actually well and safe from wherever they're at. And it's really, a great pleasure for us to be able to get together with you. I wish it was, in a room where we could see each other and be close to, well, I guess we can see each other, where we could be close to each other. But these are the circumstances we have, and so we'll do the best we can. The time of graduation is really, really a significant time of celebration. Graduates, both from their undergraduate degree programs and finishing up culmination of their research in their Ph.D. degrees, are all really, really significant milestones to meet. And all of you are going off to some new set of adventures in your lives and careers, and that's exciting. It's, I think, always a little bit intimidating, but nevertheless, it's exciting. And I think you'll find that, as that time passes by, these are really, really exciting times, and you'll find that, looking back at your transitions from one phase of your life and career to the next are always periods that are amazing and filled with lots of new experiences, and that you'll find them, coming forward in your memories, more and more often as you approach, the ripe old age like myself. These are the kinds of memories that always come back to you. But so I wish everybody well, and I really want to acknowledge all of your hard efforts and work in moving through these parts of your to this part of your career. I also want to, I guess I did, in fact, if anybody watched my YouTube video, which I just sent around to people and I tweeted out, it's on our website now. I don't usually do these things, but in the course of doing that, I really want to point out that I know, in fact, as graduate students and as undergraduate students, you all had a tremendous support structure coming from family and partners and friends and colleagues and coworkers, and I also want to really recognize all of them for their efforts that they have added to, in fact, your getting to this stage. I see someone driving in a car, which I think is interesting, whose name comes up as Curly. I think I'm quite impressed that you're sitting in a car going somewhere and listening to this. Very impressive. Well, so, I basically just wanted to say welcome to everyone. I think we're going to go through a little bit of recognizing our graduates, but I wanted to start out by, telling everyone welcome. Thank you for, coming here and attending. Thank you, in fact, for, being undergraduates and graduates, who were affiliated with Biophysics. Certainly it's been our pleasure to be your teachers, mentors, research advisors, colleagues, and sometimes friends throughout this period of time. And I wish you all the best, and then a welcome and congratulations. Sarah, I think we go on to you, if that's okay.
Sure, sounds good. Right, let's see, I have control. So I was going to go through all of our amazing undergraduates and they wonderfully submitted all these wonderful pictures that remind us of how nice it is to be outside and interacting and happy, doing exciting things. So I figured I'd share those with you instead of trying to figure out how to embarrass people in real time. Let's see, so our first undergraduate that we're talking about today that is graduating this year is Anna Argento, and I'm sorry if I pronounce people's names wrong, but she worked in Brendan Baker's lab in engineering, I think, on extracellular matrix determinants of epithelial mesenchymal transition and migration mode switching. She's one thing that her advisor said about her is that she's persistent when facing inevitable experimental failures, which I know well. And she works hard, takes initiative, and is always eager to take on new tasks, learn new skills, and contribute to the operation of a lab. These are all amazing skills that are going to serve her super well next year when she joins the Michigan Biomedical Engineering Ph.D. program as an NSF grad research fellow. Congratulations, Anna, on your amazing achievements. Let's see, our next one is Eric Binarski. Eric worked in Julie Battine's lab on single molecule imaging measurements in living Vibrio cholera cells. He was there all 4 years, I think, and became a big fixture in our program. I saw his happy face all over the place. He was a wonderful addition to the lab, according to Julie Battine, based on his high curiosity, his great lab citizenship, and his dedication to the project. Next year, he's going to be pursuing a PhD in chemistry at the University of Virginia. So congratulations, Eric. Yay. I know people can clap, maybe unmute, that would be great.
Clap on mute? Oh yeah, there is a clap thing.
Oh, you could clap, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere there's a clap thing. I can't remember where it is now.
But these guys are amazing, so they definitely deserve it. Next up is Anna Gaffney. I was very fortunate to have her working in my lab, where she measured and manipulated the chemical potential of cholesterol in vesicles. She is in the master's program, and she wrote a master's thesis with the title up here. And another amazing thing about Anna is that she completed all of her requirements for honors in biophysics in 3 years. And next year, she's going to be joining the University of Chicago's Biophysical Sciences Department as a PhD student. So congratulations, Anna. Yay. Next up is Angela Tsu. She worked with Michal Zakowski on building models of neurons in networks. Michal says that she made fantastic progress for the time that we had. She was always striving to learn and understand by pushing beyond her comfort level. In her next step, she's going to be applying to MD, PhD programs, which is very brave, and continuing to study biophysics in grad school. So congratulations, Angela. Yay. Carl Klein worked in Chris Miner's lab, where he developed a process to import magnetic resonance imaging data from images of spinal cords into a model for bubble growth and tissue damage. He is going to be starting work at Pfizer in the next stage as soon as things reopen again. So congratulations to Carl. Lindsay Ma worked in the Potke lab on microfluidic artificial lungs. Her work resulted in 3 presented conference abstracts and 1 co-author journal article publication, which is really impressive for undergrad work. She is applying to medical schools this summer and is going to spend her gap year working in Ann Arbor Veterans Affairs. So congratulations, Lindsay. Itai Pullman worked with Troy Wymore doing some MD simulations, I believe, on substrates binding to an enzyme that hydroxylates saturated hydrocarbons without the need for a transition metal ion. Troy said about him that he exudes calm, which is important, but is also highly motivated to make significant contribution to society. He is going to be starting up in med school at University of Michigan in the fall. Congratulations, Itai. Myra, yay! Myra Visser worked with Alice Tanitsky, and I'm going to say that wrong too, on viral RNA biochemistry. A quote from Alice is that she's a dedicated and fearless interdisciplinary learner, which is extraordinary. Next year, she's going to be taking a gap year in Ann Arbor to continue work in the lab, and eventually apply for PhD programs in biophysics. So congratulations, Myra. And our last undergraduate today is Kevin Wunderly. He worked with Thomas Crawford on processing MRI images in patients with cardiac disease. Professor Crawford said of Kevin that he has an exceptional work ethic, a genuine interest in the welfare of others, which will assure his success in a medical career. He's also was an officer, I think vice president of the Biophysics Club this past year, and he's going to be starting med school at Central Michigan Medical School this summer. Congratulations, Kevin. So I think this class of undergrads really represents the breadth of the types of research that it's so exciting that these guys get to do, and I'm blown away by all the things that you're going to be doing in the next steps of your career. So really, thank you for participating in our program, and you give us so much, and so thank you so much.
Okay, do you want to?
I was going to let you take over, Charlie, for this.
Okay, perfect. So actually, in this phase, some of our mentors for the students are here. And so if you would unmute yourself, just when it comes to presenting your student, that would be great. And I'll let you say a few words about them if you would. But I'll start with Efrosini, since she actually was my colleague over the past 5 years. And Efrosini is finishing up her PhD. She's actually going to defend in the end of May, so she hasn't quite defended yet. Her work was focused on the exploration of protein electrostatics through NMR chemical shift perturbations. It's really been an amazing pleasure to work with Efrosini throughout her time here. She's really been a great collaborator and co-worker. There are a few things that I think are interesting about Efrosini in the sense that she taught me many, many things throughout her studies. One of which was that she came from her former institution. It came from a university where she did a lot of undergraduate research in NMR, solid state NMR, that in fact boasts a clown school. That always impressed me. I think I never let her forget the fact that she had a clown school there, and I always wished that I could go and take a class. Anyways, congratulations, Efrosini. It's been a great pleasure having you in the lab. And although I don't look forward to your finishing and leaving, I'm very impressed that you're going to work as a postdoc in Dr. Byron Kagi's lab, NIH lab in Hamilton, Montana. So congratulations, Efrosini. The next person on the list is Aaron Bart, and I think I saw Emily here. Emily, would you mind coming on and saying a little bit about Aaron?
I'd be thrilled to. So Aaron has quite a long history in my lab. He actually joined my lab as an undergraduate student. He was one of those people who randomly, I think, somehow walked into my office and initiated a discussion about non-competitive and uncompetitive inhibitors and had all these intelligent questions. He wasn't even in a class that I taught. I'm not sure where this came from. But when he asked to do research, I was like, absolutely, yes, let's get you started today. And so he was a graduate student in my lab then after that at the University of Kansas, and then moved with my laboratory here to the University of Michigan. Because he had been in a molecular biosciences program in Kansas, the biophysics program here graciously adopted him about 2 years into his PhD degree. And he then rapidly set down to completing all of the coursework that one would normally do in a couple of years, I think in 2 semesters or something like that. And all the time kept up his productivity in the lab. And this is reflected by something like 5 first author papers with a couple more in the works before he leaves, and winning awards at nearly every national and regional meeting that he attended. Like, I had to keep sending him back to the same meeting because he'd win an award getting to come back the next year. And so, you know, I'm surprised I didn't get a few complaints about seeing him all the time show up. In addition, Aaron, because he was so productive, Aaron had the opportunity to go to a collaborator in industry, and he spent last summer as a paid intern at Genentech. And that was a great experience for him to sort of figure out next steps forward. He came back and defended last fall. And he you know, he could have walked last fall, and we almost had him go ahead and walk last fall. I guess in retrospect, we should have. But I was going to be out of the country, and so he waited for me. But Aaron recently accepted a postdoctoral position at Merck, which he will presumably start in mid-August. And all I can say is that their gain, our loss.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Aaron. Next graduating PhD student on the list is Maral. I think, Michal, are you here? I saw you just a moment ago. Would you mind
Yes,
unmuting and saying a few words about Maral? I will start out by saying I usually met her in the corn maze, or at least I met her a few times in the corn maze with her fellow graduate students, and enjoyed searching our way out of those. But go ahead, Michal.
Yeah, so this is the set moment where we start saying goodbye. So Maral defended last week, and she did a great job, and now she's ready to move on. But when she came to my lab, I remember the first thing she told me that she never did any research on neural networks and the neurons, which actually I do. So I thought, okay, that'll be interesting. Let's see how it goes. But she already published her first paper based on the results that we did during the rotation. Yeah, so it was amazing, and it was just amazing to see her grow and actually mature into the full-fledged modeling neuroscientist. And it was really a pleasure having her in the lab. And of course, now that she's really great, she's going to leave and going to use all her knowledge someplace else, which of course, as usually, kind of bothers me. But that's I think how it goes. So congratulations, Malari, you did a fantastic job, and it was really a pleasure to see you evolve into a new research discipline and and see you grow. And she completely took charge of her last project, and now she's going to work for Denise Kirchner. So lucky she, not lucky me.
Congratulations, Mom.
Congratulations.
Next on our list is Jeff Foles. I didn't see Raul here. Am I correct? I don't think he could make it, but I did see Jeff here. I will just point out that I've known Jeff since he came into the program. I've had lots of very, very good and interesting conversations with him. I think he's been a dedicated graduate student. His thesis work was titled Frontiers in Cancer Diagnostics from Photoacoustic Chemical Imaging to Cellular Morphodynamics. There's a new word for me, morphodynamics, Jeff. And I've known Jeff as a hardworking, straightforward person whom I always appreciated his input and his feedback, because it was usually no nonsense. Jeff is working over the course of the summer as a postdoc in, well, Kopelman's lab, finishing up, I presume, the work that's been ongoing throughout his thesis project. And Jeff, we wish you the best of luck in moving forward in your career, and urge you to stay in touch as you move forward in that way. Congratulations. All right. The next person we'd like to recognize is Liz Gishana. Liz did her PhD in Matt Chapman's lab. Liz, I think, cannot join us. I don't think I saw her on the Zoom thing. Liz's thesis was entitled "Cysteine Metabolism Regulates." Geez, all these words I'm going to have a hard time saying. Pellicle biofilm development in uropathogenic E. coli and the in vitro characterization of CSGA amyloid formation. Liz is actually currently working as a consultant. She finished her PhD a little while ago. I think she's working as a consultant in the Boston area. And she, in fact, was a great contributor to the Biophysics graduate program, and we wish her all the best of luck. The next student on our list is Hayden. And I saw also that David Lubinsky, who was Hayden's coworker and mentor during his PhD, is here. So I'll pass things over to Hayden, or over to David if he's willing and available in a moment. I just want to say that I've had a great time getting to know Hayden. We had for several years Friday afternoon after the seminar happy hour, and Hayden was a regular there, and I really very much enjoyed getting to know him during those early periods of time, but also, in fact, getting to see him develop. And so, David, if you're there and you'd like to take over, please do so.
Yes, I am here. So let's see. So I have known Hayden since he was an undergraduate. He first came to Michigan as an REU student in our Biophysics REU program, and he worked with me. And even then, he was, I think, one of the most independent undergraduates I have ever met. He would just, go off and read about things and do things himself and come back with things done, which was really quite amazing. So I was very happy that he decided to come back to Michigan to do his PhD and ultimately to join my lab. While during his PhD, he's worked on really an incredible breadth of problems. So by virtue of being willing to take on anything I ask of him, and of being at times one of the relatively few people in my lab, he has really done basically 3 different thesis projects on 3 different aspects of the interactions between mechanics and animal development and morphogenesis. And really, I should say 3.5. He's done 3 that have become papers, and a 4th that has sort of become part of our core software base, but not its own separate paper. So Hayden has gotten a tremendous amount done, and what I have always really appreciated about him is that he is very independent. He thinks for himself, and I can trust him to go off and take care of things, and that is just not true of everyone you come across as a professor. So I will be very sad to see him go. As Michal said, students always get to the point where they're just the most useful person you've ever met, and then they immediately want to graduate. But that is the way of the world. So Hayden will be starting a postdoc at the Flatiron Institute in New York this summer, although I guess the in New York part of it might not be until later than this summer, but at least virtually he will be starting the postdoc this summer. And he will be working on computational techniques to merge image data and simulations to understand polymorphism. So I think this is a great position for him, and I'm very excited to see what he comes up with next.
All right, congratulations, Hayden. And I should also point out that Hayden actually was a recipient of an NSF predoctoral
Yes, sir.
fellowship,
Yes.
which was a great honor. And I think really just underlines what an outstanding, among all of our outstanding students that Hayden was. So congratulations, Hayden, and good luck. Next in the list is Quentin Skilling. I also have a minor story about drinking beer and things like that with Quentin. He too was part of these happy hours that we had several years ago. And again, like Hayden, I very much enjoyed getting to know him during that period of time. We still have an ongoing kind of challenge to teach each other about wine. And I hope we have an opportunity to sort of do that sometime in the future before Quentin disappears. Quentin worked with Michal Zakowski as well, and actually defended yesterday. And I won't take all of Michal's thunder, so Michal, do you want to come in and say a little bit about Quentin?
Yes, of course. And again, this is an example of a person who unfortunately is leaving. It would be great if he could stay way longer. So Quentin actually came to my lab, and luckily or unluckily, he got involved immediately in probably the most complex projects that my lab was working on. It was in collaboration with Sarah Ayton, and we're trying to model the relationship between spiking activity in vivo brain and the behavior. So really multi-scalar kind of modeling. And Quentin didn't complain. He started working, and it was a really difficult project and very complicated. And I have to say, it was amazing to see him go through this. And of course, as always, we had pitfalls and happy times, as it usually is. But Quentin showed amazing perseverance in continuing on, and I'm really happy that we reached this place where we are. And actually, I'm 100% sure that the results that Quentin obtained actually will reverberate in my lab for a number of years, because we're going to continue the work Quentin started and continue the collaboration thanks to Quentin, because, well, his work actually, I'm hoping, showed my collaborator that we are not useless in doing the modeling. So yes, again, I'm really sad to see you go, and keep in touch, and well, don't leave too early, because we still have to finish a few things. Congratulations, Quentin.
All right, congratulations, Quentin. So I think that finishes the list. You're going to stop sharing so I can start.
I am.
Faces, perfect. And I just want to note a couple of more things before we maybe open this up a little bit and let other people say some things if they'd like to say. First of all, I'm really amazed and impressed to see all of the faces here. I very much appreciate all of you taking the time to attend. I know it's important to our graduating students, and it's certainly important to me. I'm very grateful that everybody took this time. I see people whom I am guessing are parents. Thank you for being here. Actually, one of the biggest pleasures I have when we do this as a small celebration, as part of the graduation time, is that I get to meet many of you one-on-one. And unfortunately, the circumstances don't allow us to do that. But I'm very pleased, and it's happy that in fact your sons or daughters have been in fact part of biophysics over the course of their undergraduate careers or their graduate careers. Some of you, I realize, could be parents or partners or friends of some of our graduate students. It's great to see everybody's face here. At this point, we really don't have much of an agenda, but I thought if people wanted to say something, there's supposed to be some sort of hand-raising function or something like that here. Now, yeah, is there a hand raising function? Does somebody know? Where is it at?
There is a hand raising function. If you click on the participants icon, it will be at the bottom of the participants list.
All right. So, what I would like to do is actually give people an opportunity to say something if they'd like to do that. And if you would, why don't you raise your hand and I will try to note you and, let you have your say. And, we can introduce ourselves to each other. While I'm going down the list, I see Chris Miners has his hand up. I think that's the hand. Yeah, Chris Miners. Chris, do you want to say something?
Okay, just very briefly congratulating everyone to their tremendous work, what they've done for biophysics, what they've done in their labs. The biophysics major for the undergraduates, it's not an easy one. So you did well. Just want to congratulate from the bottom of my heart and say all the best for the rest of your career, for your future, and yeah, for the graduate students, Ph.D. in biophysics from Michigan, that means something. I heard that many of you are going on to wonderful places. Wish you all the best of luck, and thank you for everything you have done for the program.
All right, I saw Marcos, you had your hand up here. Marcos, are you coming on here? You have to push the unmute button, Marcos. Or maybe you don't have your hand up. You have, yeah, all right. Maybe Marcos doesn't have his hand up. Sarah, Sarah Grosky, did you want to say something? Did I see your hand up or no? I didn't see your hand up. Where's Sarah? I can't see Sarah either.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just clapping. I think, I don't know.
Oh, that's a
hand
clap.
raising. Yeah, that's a clap.
Maybe that's a clap, sorry. Yeah, because Marcos still has something, maybe it's clapping. Oh, it is clap, you're right, sorry.
Yeah, it was clapping, sorry about that.
That's fine, clapping is fine. I just, with my eyesight, I can't tell the difference between clapping and hand raised, so. Sorry, that was someone? That was Sarah?
That was me, sorry, yeah.
Oh, it's all right. Well, there's Hayden. Hayden has his hand up now. Go ahead, Hayden.
So I just want to say, our department is small, like we don't have that many grad students, but one thing I've really enjoyed is that grad students in the biophysics department are just really real people. We kind of look out for each other. We're not super cutthroat, and I've just sort of appreciated getting to know everybody, and not only as, in scientific settings, but just getting to know them sort of beyond that. And I've really appreciated the opportunity.
All right, I don't see any other hands raised at the moment. I will point out that Efrosini sent me an email. She's actually sort of a quiet person. So, and she said that she really wished she had taken that trapeze class while she was at Florida State University. Well, all of your accomplishments are amazing. Oh, sorry, Julie Bettine is asking me if I have a poem, and I didn't really prepare a poem. I have to say that my poetry as of late has been sort of dark because, I've been slightly depressed about the isolation that we're all in. And I did write a COVID-19 poem, but it's probably not appropriate to share because it's sort of more dark than this occasion certainly warrants. So I will, continue to say that in fact, it's hard to explain how much pleasure it brings, I think, to all of us, all of us as faculty, to see students at all levels develop as they have. Itai worked with Troy and sat in my laboratory, and I very much enjoyed having him there. As I've already mentioned, I've so much enjoyed my opportunities to interact with the graduate students who were not working in my laboratory, but in fact who were just part of our graduate program. I think also I got to know a little bit, Eric over the course of the semester and year, I guess, when he was on our advisory committee and attending faculty meetings. And it's amazing what accomplishments that all of you have sort of achieved. And it's also very, very impressive the directions that you're taking as you move off into the future and take advantage of these opportunities. You have great ones ahead of you. And with that, I'm probably going to shut up for a little while because I don't know what else to say. And I'll take hand raises if there are any more, if anyone else would like to say anything. Hayden, you still have your hand raised, but I presume you don't want to say something more. I don't know whether Quentin wants to tell us about what he's learned about wine since we...
I think we have an actual hand up somewhere.
Oh, we do? Okay.
You can unmute.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, Liz's dad sounds like looks like he wants to say something.
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute him here. Hold on. I am so sorry.
You should be able to unmute yourself.
Yep. Got it. Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, we
Hello.
hear you.
Yeah, this is Gichana. I'm Elizabeth's dad. And as an alumni of Michigan State University, I envy your school, but I'm very proud of it as the school that guided my daughter through graduate school. And Liz now works in Chicago for BCG, as you mentioned at the beginning of the meeting. We are all very grateful. We have been to university several times with all my family. We have 4 kids in the house. And we love your school, we love your program. And we are very grateful for all the guidance you've given to these graduate students who become great scholars and researchers. Liz could not join us or join your meeting tonight because she had a client to work with, and they're working from home. So thank you very much, and I appreciate for all you've done for all of us and from our family especially. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that. And I apologize, I put Liz in the wrong city.
That's okay.
All right. Anyone else like to say anything? I'm scanning for hands. Well, if not, maybe we'll sort of wind things down, and I will say again that this is a really important time in all of your lives, and it's unfortunate that it is under these circumstances that we have to be celebrating your significant accomplishments. From the little bits of introduction that we've been able to do, for all of you, it's clear that all of you are off on very, very impressive new directions. I differ with my colleagues a little bit in terms of, lamenting the fact that students have to leave and they can't work for us anymore. I love the fact that they go on. I think this is what they're supposed to do, and I know you all do too as well. And this is, also I agree with one of the things which, Michal, I think, said, is that when, in fact, they become collaborators and stop being students, then we know it's time that for them to go on. And all of our PhD students I know have made that transition from students to collaborators, and as it was clear, they're all going off to important and interesting new work in their post PhD years. All of our graduating undergraduates also have big tasks in front of them, whether those are graduate school or medical school or moving off into a new position somewhere. And we wish you all the best. We know there'll be great things coming from all of you, and we hope you stay in touch, because we really like to hear how you're progressing and want to know what wonderful people have. Well, you were wonderful people when you left, and we want to continue hearing about all of the great accomplishments that you're achieving throughout your careers as they develop. So thank you all very much for coming, and have a great rest of the day. Enjoy, if you're together with someone, a drink. If you're by yourself, probably it's not so great to drink a lot. But
Alice,
oh, Alex. Hi, Alex. Hi, Alice.
I just wanted to toss in, I also wanted to thank all the parents who are here for providing us with these wonderful young people, because we know that without having gotten those years before they came to the University of Michigan, we wouldn't have had such a wonderful experience with them. And I know I'm sort of repeating things, but I think it's a good way to come towards the end of the meeting too.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Thank you very much. Sarah, do you want to say anything in closing? No? I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Thank you. Congratulations.
I didn't want to put you on the spot. All right, everyone, take care. Thank you very much. I think we'll sign off now. Congratulations.
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 You're here.
Everyone.